my gosh, that was great.
I like
We
surprising
need we need to hire whoever does our graphics for us. We need to like hire them. They're great.
people.
Oh my goodness, y'all. How are ya? Is everybody
Hello.
doing good? It's what, Tuesday? Oh my gosh. So this is like the standard answer in life right now. Can you believe it's November?
No, that's insane.
Like, oh my gosh. They say that life is like a roll of toilet paper. The more you use it, the faster it goes. And I swear that's true.
Yes.
When I was raising toddlers and when I had a baby at home and all of this, like you, it's like, will this ever end? Will I ever get to have friends again? Will I ever get to go outside without, little ones tagging along? Yeah,
Yeah.
goes fast.
I found a piece of Lego, and I find lots of Legos in crevices in my office.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, there's going to be one of these days when I'm going to miss finding Lego pieces on my floor.
It's true.
One day.
But I always thought that old people said that.
I know.
like our moms, Okay, dude, quiet. Yeah, that's true. It is my mom coming out at me. And we may have a situational change here, dude. It's got to be quiet time, okay? Quiet.
It's like he needs something. Like he has some things to say.
He has some things to say,
yeah.
But he'll scream if he's across the room. The next plan is to put him outside the office, but then he's in the vicinity of the cat. So, right. I mean, he can make that choice. He can totally make that choice. Good morning, everybody. It is so good to see you. Today, we're kind of like, we're winging this thing with zero notes. Like, no, normally, before the show, I will text Darcy and I'll say, okay, here's what I want you to talk about. Here's what we're going to talk about. And today, that didn't happen. And it didn't happen for a reason, because we wanted to touch base and to deal with some things that are really weighing on our clients right now. So, hold on a minute. Let me take care of the situation. Okay. We'll see if this works. So, if you see him coming up just out of the blue somewhere, he's figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
But right now, he's really confused down there. So, we thought we'd talk today about some of the things that are in our coaching sessions right now. So, a lot of times, we go through seasons as coaches where, we've got a lot of energy, a lot of, okay, we can do this. We're going to lose this amount of weight. We're going to be free from addiction. We're going to do the hormone thing. We're going to learn how to eat apples. Can you believe I said that?
Yeah.
We're going to learn how to do all those things. And then we have some seasons in our coaching. And it's kind of funny how when we touch base, during our staff meetings, we kind of have the same thing, peppered out throughout our clientele. So I just thought we'd address it, because it's not a matter of when it happens. It's not a matter of if it happens. It's a matter of when it happens. And, oh dear, my gosh.
This is like our life right here.
We got to figure this out. We got to figure this office situation out, because this is not working. It's not working. He's fired. He's totally fired. I have no idea where he went.
Just roll over on him, okay?
I know. I'm going to sit very still because I don't want to roll over him. So it's not a matter. So let's go down memory lane. When you and I lost 120 pounds, you lost 75 pounds, and let's kind of take this down memory lane, because when we coach so closely with our clients that we remember what happened when we were in the same situation. And not all clients are alike. I mean, when we have a client enroll, their struggles don't necessarily match anyone else's, because everyone has different struggles. But there are similarities throughout the journey. My 120 pounds took a year to come off. When we have a client that has to lose over 50 pounds, we say mark out a year of your life, because that's really how long it takes, right? If you want to do it right. You can starve yourself, like those unnamed diets that we won't talk about today.
What,
You
where
can
people just
starve
eat
your.
celery?
We, what's that?
Just the celery diet, the
Oh,
grapefruit diet,
yeah.
all those things.
We could don't get us started on that. But you can totally lose, a lot of weight really quickly if you're starving yourself. But if you do it right and you want to actually keep it off, I've kept mine off for 7 years now. You've kept yours off for what, 4? It's been
No, it's
going
been a
on.
while. I think.
Yeah, it's been a while. When you want to keep it off and you want to never have to do it again, you're going to go through these mountains and these valleys. And so today we're going to talk about the valleys a little bit. There's 2 specific valleys that I want to talk about in 2 different seasons, and because we're coming up on them, and so they're fresh on our minds, and our clients are experiencing it right now. First of all, being the season of holidays, and the assumption that you're going to gain your weight anyway. So why not just take your foot off the accelerator and just coast for a while, And so there's a sense of discouragement and of expectation, like a self-fulfilled prophecy, that you're going to gain all that weight back. So might as well try. You might as well go into the season of yuck, right? Yeah. And then the other season is the season of time. And that season of time comes in waves. So when I hit my first season, it was a little bit scary because, number one, I had tried every diet in the book. And so I was in the back of my mind expecting it to fail. Even though I was losing weight, even though I was doing the things in the back of my mind, my self-fulfilled prophecy says, well, just get used to it, just settle in, because you're going to fail. And so for my first season, it started really at the beginning, when I'm just assuming that, I'm going to gain it back. I'm going to fail anyway. And so I slipped into a season of dullness, and I explained to our clients yesterday, it was like I was numb. I didn't feel happiness. I didn't feel sadness. I didn't feel anything. In fact, I asked my pastor if I was still saved. I'm like, I felt literally nothing. And this is when it's critical for our clients. And this is when we zone in to our clientele when we see those signs of nothing, the season of nothing, really. Because this is when the risk factors of reversal, the risk factors of falling off the wagon come into play during this season. Darcy, do you remember, I talked a little bit about my season, and I did end up going to counseling at that time. I don't know what's happening down there. There's a lot of movement on the floor. So I don't know.
It's not kids.
And I haven't heard any chirping. I've heard nothing. The season of silence in the office here. So we may have a death in the family. I don't know. I just know the Great Dane is walking around and pacing. So we talk a little bit about my season. And it was the most scary season of all because I'm an emotional person. I wear my feelings on my sleeve. If I'm having a good day, a bad day, or, you just know. And so when I went into the season, it was very, very scary. I was still losing weight. I didn't feel happy about it. I was still doing the things. And yet I felt nothing. And this was a very, very big risk factor of me falling off the wagon or me going back to my old lifestyle and the old way that I would eat before. Did anything similar or maybe different happen to you when you hit this space of your journey that we're just doing the same thing over and over and over? Do you remember that at all?
It's kind of like Groundhog's Day because you ask yourself, what's the purpose of me doing this? Mm-hmm. You get into this weird funk where you get into your head. You forget about all the things around you, the things that you've succeeded at. You just feel, again, like it's that Groundhog's Day. Things keep repeating over and over. You don't necessarily have any feelings. You're doing the things. And sometimes for most of my clients, they begin to let chaos start to control their life again. Mm-hmm. So because they have gotten a little portion of their life in control, and like me, I got a little portion of my life in control, I started letting the old habits and mine's not necessarily adding a whole bunch of chaos into my life. It was just the old habits that I had creeping back into my life. And they're always there if you don't get rid of them. Like, I learned that quickly. Like, I did not work on the emotional side of of what was deeply rooted in my system and why I had been overweight, why I had such a food problem. I did not take care of that straight up. So, I had to basically backtrack for me. So that put me in a place of, I thought I was doing something wrong, even though I was doing all the things right, aside from, some things that we'll talk about here shortly. Yeah. But
we don't rest well in America. No. I don't know if it's just an American thing, but we don't rest well.
No, we
don't.
So
when things are going smoothly and we're doing the things and there is some blank space in there in our life, we panic. I was telling oh good, he's biting my foot, so I know he's alive. I was telling the group yesterday, as a business owner, if you're a business owner, you'll relate well to this. You have seasons of slowness, right? You have seasons of downtime and seasons where things are just slower than others. And then you have chaotic seasons. Mm-hmm. Weight loss coaches have the same thing. January 1st, as you can imagine, is our busy season. Yeah. This season where everybody thinks they can't lose weight, it slows down. And so every stinking year, I think you were a part of that conversation last year where, and maybe you were the one that told me, Monica, maybe you should just take this time and rest. Mm-hmm. Maybe this should be a season of rest for you and vision for the new year and where we're going to take our clients, at the beginning of the year. And I didn't. Every single year I panic. And what do I do when I panic? I work. So I'm building new programs. I'm working harder to make sure that I get things done when in fact I should rest. Mm-hmm. And the same thing happens and needs to be applied to your health life. There are seasons where we look at our clients and we're like, maybe it's time for you to rest. Now that rest does not mean do anything different with your eating. It may mean, and I can envision your stair step thing right here, Darcy. It may mean this. Talk about that for a second.
So I'm gonna give Kim Howerton the credit for this idea because
love her. Hey Kim.
Hey Kim. It was more of like an awakening for me and understanding that, even as a coach, and she's a coach and you're a coach, even in this coachness world that we have, we constantly have these seasons. We are constantly biohacking on ourselves, trying new things. And then when those things don't work, we're like, well, there's nothing that works.
I failed. Darn it.
But she talked about the stair steps right here. And I have right here, I don't know if it's backwards. Is it backwards to you?
I think it is, but you could read it to us.
So it basically is where you start on your journey right here. Your journey begins up here, and then when you're ready to start, you're ready to go, full force. Now, a lot of times, we like to do like what my kids like to do, and all these other kids out there that might enjoy this as well, is, attempting to jump from the top of the stairs all the way at the bottom. Like, because it's not dangerous at all. And
no, it's fun.
It was fun. We did not break anything, right? We had no idea that anything could get broken.
I remember I raised 3 boys. You're raising 2 boys. I read a book one time that says, you've been a successful parent if your boys end up at the age of 18 and alive. And I remember, my gosh, Kyle, I'm just watching Kyle jump down those stairs. Every time he would do that, he would stand up at the bottom. He'd be like, I'm okay.
That's exactly, yeah. We're okay. And that's kind of the point here, where when we start our journey and we have these high expectations, that's where the 3-month part of our program kicks in here. Like, people are ready, they're motivated, they're ready for this new thing in their life because they've seen all of everybody else having success with it. So they're going to do this, but then they decide that they're going to jump from the top to the bottom, right? Mm-hmm. Instead, if you take it a slow approach, like the stair steps, you're going to do you're going to start here. You're going to go work hard, do everything. And then you're going to get to a point in your season where maintenance may happen. Plateaus. You're just, you have that numbness. You have these new emotions starting to form. Mm-hmm. You have these new, situations in your body that's starting to happen.
Mhm.
And this is where this stair step right here, it's a maintenance. It's just rest.
Yeah, and you could even still be losing weight during that time. So it could be a physical plateau, like Darcy's diagram there, or it could be a mental plateau where you're still losing weight. I will sit with clients sometimes. This happened to me twice yesterday. I will sit with them and I'll look at their progress for the week. And as we begin to plan out their week for the next week, they come to me and they say, "Oh, I did so horrible this week. I did this, this, and this, and I only lost." How many times have we heard that? I've only lost a quarter of a pound, or I did just horrible. And you're looking at what they just did and you're like, my gosh, you did incredible.
Yeah.
Like, you did incredible. Why in the world are you allowing yourself to go into that negative space of I did a horrible job when you really did good? And it totally could be a plateau. It could be a physical plateau. It could be a mental plateau or a physical plateau. So they get to that second round, then what happens?
So in that second round of rest, and you can see how, you can have however many stair steps. I always count my stair steps when I go down and up them. I don't know why. That might be something wrong.
My mother? No, it's our mother that did that. I count everything.
I count the stair steps. I always know I have like 11 stairs and I'm counting them. But you could have more or less. It just depends on you. We're all different. We're bio-individual. Our journeys are not going to be the same, but there might be similar. So in the season of rest, you could either A, sit in the mud and sulk and be numb and discouraged and get in your head and just start to go backwards. You could jump off an exit ramp. That's a great opportunity when you're resting. No, it's not. Don't do it. But that's a lot of
that's when it happens.
That's when it happens. Right. So being guarded about those things is very important in your journey. So in the season of rest, that stair step of rest, you need to ask yourself, okay, I'm here. What can I be doing during this time? I'm resting. Do I need extra sleep? Do I need to focus on new habits? Do I need to start breaking old habits? You make a game plan. You can, you could even, start to think about, okay, I'm bored with my food. So what am I going to do with that? You got to take action. No excuses, because the rest area is a great place for people to add those excuses and like, woe is me, and this is not working for me. Or you can be positive thinking and what can you do? Right. What can I do to change?
As long as you're doing the things, as long as you are what I call going into robot mode. As long as you are doing the things, still tracking your food, still eating in a calorie deficit, still eating, the no sugar, still doing the things. And then like Darcy said, oh, let's look at the squirrel out there. You mentioned in group yesterday, before we go to break here, you mentioned in group about the toxins. Yeah. That's not something that we focus on when we're trying to lose weight, and yet it's a good thing.
Right.
What if you said, okay, I understand the impact of these toxins. My coach was telling me, if I just switched over to glass versus plastic, and you target and you nail that while you're in that season of rest. Notice you're not in a season of rest and changing how you're eating. Your scale is still going down. It's still, it could be paused. It could be, whatever. You're still doing the things, but then you're like, okay, I need a little bit of spice here. I need to find a new recipe. All right, so let's hold on. Let's hold that thought. And we want to give away a free cookbook today. All you have to do is download it. So you want to have your cameras ready, your phones ready, so that you can take a picture of this QR code that will lead you directly to download our brand new Keto Holiday Cookbook, which is another thing that we are encouraging our clients to do right now. And that's, don't let the holidays sneak up on you. You show up to Thanksgiving and there's nothing for you to eat. And then you either have a choice. You starve or you go off plan. You don't need to do that. And right now is the time you need to be practicing those recipes. If you are a horrible cook like myself, you need to be in that kitchen finding something. I was talking to a client yesterday. I'm like, what do you miss? What do you miss during Thanksgiving? Is there something you're scared about when you're going to Thanksgiving? She said, I just live for cranberry sauce. She's like, and I'm really sad that I can't have it this year. I'm like, oh, sister, you have not gotten my recipe yet. Absolutely, you can have cranberry sauce. And here's how you do it. So make sure your cameras are out, and we'll be back in about 30 seconds.
There it is.
Everything is well. I found the bird. Everything is well. He found this place underneath my desk that's this little crevice, and it's a little perch, and he's as happy as a lark.
Oh,
So that may be his new resting place. Oh man! So hopefully you got that. You can download that holiday cookbook. If you don't, just send us a message. We'll send you the link. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have to be all fancy in technology, but kudos to Darcy for creating those videos. I absolutely love them, and I love the turkey. Did y'all see the turkey? It's so fun. So fun.
I love it. So,
all right.
About the toxins again. We left off with that.
Yes.
About that period. So. One little thing about why toxins are important and what we've learned in our journey is that you can have a ton of estrogen mimicking type of toxins in your body, which estrogen is the fat holder, right? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
That's right.
You may be wondering and pondering in this time in the mud of why is my scale not moving? So then you just push yourself a little bit more, think outside the box. And then my next thought on top of that is, when it comes down to the mental side of things, you can take this time of rest. And a lot of my clients love this, but I really encourage them to journal. And why are we journaling? Because a lot of times we sit and think constantly. We never really stop thinking. And so when we are thinking, we let things fester. I think of like, the old movie of Blubber, was it Blubber? I think it was, I don't know, it was that green blob, and it's like slime.
Yeah.
And as the dirt and stuff attracts, let's just use slime as not the movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some, but it just like festers and builds up a bunch of junk, and then the stuff that doesn't even make sense is somehow this story is attached to this story, even though there's nothing related. So getting it outside of your head, asking yourself.
Oh, sorry, Darce. I have to also advocate for counseling because I am a wholehearted believer of mental health and counseling, especially after the stupid pandemic we just went through. There are so many.
Journal too, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's the best thing I ever did. The best 8 weeks of my life is when I was in one of those pauses, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe now is the time to start to unpack that. And a counselor, all she did was just give me words for what was going on in my head. She didn't do anything like brainstormingly crazy. It was just like, and I ended up answering my own questions half the time, but it helped to be able to filter and to process those feelings and those thoughts and those emotions that were going on. Some of them legitimate, some of them were just, I had made them up in my head, like I'm going to fail. I had made that one up because apparently you're supposed to feel this euphoria throughout an entire dieting process. You're supposed to watch that scale fall. It doesn't happen. Real life happens. And so when we get into that 3-month area, that's why our 3-month program is so successful. Our 8-week program, basically that just tells you what to do. The 3-month program, and we have clients up to 2 years sometimes, unpacking all of that, getting them through those plateaus and those things. Some of the plateaus can be angry. This is where the anger sometimes comes out when we compare it to an onion. As we lose the weight, we see crap under there that we didn't know was there. Sometimes those expose themselves during a plateau. So sometimes those plateaus can be angry and emotional. And other times, like the one I had, was very scary. And it was nothing. It was literally nothing. And I would rather feel anger and fear, and I'd rather feel something than not feel something. That's my control freak in me. And maybe that's because I'm a firstborn child, but I would rather feel angry than not feel anything at all. So I thought there was something wrong with me. Fact is, they're not broken.
Our world teaches us that emotions are bad and that we can't be angry or we can't have, we can't cry. I know there was years for me that I was not physically able to cry. Like there was nothing that I was able to, like no tears, nothing. I had no emotion.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to swallow them down. But emotions are good. It just depends on how long you stick in it. Just like the mud. If you decide to stick in the mud in the rest area for a long period of time, cool. But
Yeah.
just know there is a time when you need to get out of the mud, and that is where you seek accountability, you seek a coach, you seek a counselor, somebody to help you that has been there maybe or knows the way out to help
Yeah.
you out of that mud.
Yeah. It's actually the clients, and I don't know if you're the same way, but for me, it's actually the clients who don't go through this that scare me a little bit. Yeah. It's the ones that the scale's constantly falling. They're happy, 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 happy the entire time, and they haven't dealt with those emotions and haven't had one of those plateaus. That scares me a little bit because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I want them to have those things when I am, when I am in their care, when they are in my care. I want them to be able to work through those things so that we can process them during our sessions. And sometimes when that doesn't happen, until afterwards, it's like that's when the weight comes raging back. So
another point that we could do when we are in that rest area, there's one more, is to learn new material. And if you've been in through our program, you go through the modules that Coach Monica does. Learning new material is going to help. It helps me be motivated. It helps me see, okay, there's another viewpoint on my struggle. Yeah. So not only that, but then once you have all these things and you've asked yourself, have I done all of these things in this rest time? Have I done, self-care? Have I done a relook at what my goal is? Have I done, gone back to maybe when you first started, if you first started your journey and you said, this is my goal and this is how I want to get there. This is my why. Then you can go and say, oh yeah, that was my why. I still want it to be my why. And that I think that would motivate you if you've forgotten it. Yeah. So it really helps you center and focus on why you're doing what you're doing. And so then you're not jumping from the top of the stairs to the bottom of the stairs, but you're slowly going at a good pace. It's like the tortoise and the hare. I think the tortoise would have gone the stair route.
He would have jumped off the balcony. Yeah.
And the hare would have definitely jumped off the balcony. So you've got that situation where you are going at a steady pace. You're not only fixing your health on the inside out, but you're working on your mental side as well. So that's the importance of the staircase and doing that. But
and sometimes at the end of one of those plateaus, that's when we shake things up a little bit as your coaches. That's when we say, okay, all right, you've been eating this way for so long, or maybe your macros need to be changed. We change your macros every 25 pounds that you lose. And so there could be a scientific reason of a scale stall. But we do not wrestle that basket until you're in a good place mentally. Because if we're going in there and every time you hit one of those, and this happens a lot in my coaching, every time you hit one of those scary plateaus or those scary things where we slow down, they want to change something and they're assuming that they're doing something wrong. And so they're like changing things. We call it, what do we call that? The, where you see squirrels all the time. Oh, here's a squirrel. Oh, what about this? I heard about this in the weight loss world. Let's go try this. What do we call that? Seeing squirrels.
Like seeing squirrels is what it is.
Yeah. And then that is very, very dangerous when the fact of the matter is, no, you just need to be slow and steady. You need to take the next best move. You don't need to change anything in your lifestyle. That's science, because there is a study or a story that will contradict any study that you have. So when a client comes to us and say, well, I heard this study works the best for everybody, and I could come back to them with the same study on the opposite side and say, no, so-and-so, Dr. So-and-so says this. Yeah. And when we get looking at studies and we get looking at everything else that everybody else is doing, we forget about our own lifestyle, and then we lose ground in our own lifestyle. If you remain steady, slow and steady rate wins the race. Take time to heal that mental side of things. Take time to rest. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be. What does Kim call it? Bless her heart. I loved what she when she came to our conference to speak. She talked about these diet pauses, and it was such a relief to me to know I don't have to be in diet mode all my life. That's why I love our new Ageless Keto program for our women. I love that because it gives them a chance to know that weight's coming off regardless, but we don't have to have our foot to the accelerator 24/7. We can take our foot off the accelerator, not eating any differently, not doing anything differently, but not freaking out if that scale's not falling. So during the seasons of rest, it's time to rest.
Mm-hmm.
During seasons of push, it's time to push. So I'm committed this year to doing the same thing for my company. It's a season of rest. By the way, if you want the most incredible coaching you've ever had, that's when you actually need to hire your coach during her down season, because then you've got her undivided attention. Because January's coming, and let me tell you, my attention will be multiplied. So the key to getting the best bang for your buck and having one-on-one sessions is to grab your coach on her slow season.
So
eventually there will be no slow seasons for us.
Right.
So,
well, another way is that have that group accountability kind of thing going on.
Right. That's starting. What is that starting, Darcy? 2 weeks?
Yes, it starts the day after Thanksgiving. So you got Thanksgiving Day, and then the 24th is when everything opens, and then we have our first session together on that Monday, because Black Friday is on that, and it's kind of a holiday, I guess, just people.
Yeah. You're going to be burning calories going from store to store.
Right. Well, anymore, it's more like thumb work.
Thumb work, yes. So true.
So, yeah, this ageless keto, what is it? What do I even call it?
Ageless keto. You got it.
Yeah.
But this is a group. This is not one-on-one coaching. It's a group. So it's definitely, if you enroll in this program, you literally have to be on it. You have got to take your responsibility. Now, it is the best price you will ever find. You're not going to get this thing any cheaper. In fact, I'm going to rethink that next year, Darce, because that was not a smart business move on my part. But
do it because we want people to go through this program. Like it is life-changing, and I think it needs to happen. So
That's right. So if you want the group aspect, Darcy launches hers. I think you had a couple of women enroll yesterday. The group is building. I closed mine down because there was too many. We want it to be a smaller group. So make sure that you message Coach Darcy if you want to enroll. The benefit of that is you're going to have a coach through February.
Yeah.
90-day program.
You're going to be ahead of everything.
Crazy deal. I will rethink that as the CEO next year on that one. But we want people to find that healing. So Coach Darcy will take your application for that in the comments here.
It's in the website, right? I think it's on the website.
I don't think it is.
Oh.
No, this is a new one. This is a pop-up one. So I don't think it is.
You
have the magic link in your fingers. You have that so that you can message that to anyone who wants it.
Message in the comments if you are in the comments say, I want this Ageless Keto group.
That's right.
I will get you hooked up.
That's right. So we are so we're continuing to be busy. I'm taking my last. Well, I actually graduated my I don't have it in my hot little hands yet, but I actually submitted my final paperwork for my addictions certification. And so I'm going to be taking a class here at noon with my favorite. Oh my gosh, Roland Williams is going to speak. And wow, he's so good. He's a drug addiction counselor. And so I just take gold from him. Unbelievable. We actually have curriculum now with KM Health Coaching, mandatory curriculum in the addictions program. So
that's awesome.
By Roland, he gave me permission to use it as my curriculum. So I'm so excited. That's boring stuff, but we want you to know that when you go through these seasons in your life, when you either feel things or you feel nothing, you feel like you are failing because you feel nothing, because it's a slow season. Remember, they can be during holiday seasons where everybody assumes you're going to gain weight. You can go through one, or you can just time just does it. And so we want to encourage you that you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. Everything you need is in your hands to succeed. You just have to be willing to not quit. Those are the only people that fail, is the people that quit. Everything else is a step. Ask Nurse Cindy. I was reminded. Ask Nurse Cindy. Hi, Cindy. I miss you. I haven't seen her online in a while. I think I said that last week. I gotta go stalk her page and find out where she is because I haven't seen her. Make sure she's okay. Have you
It's
seen her?
probably the algorithm because the algorithms stay.
They're horrible. Algorithms are horrible right now.
I had to whisper it so that they didn't ban us.
I know. But you've seen her. She's okay. Everything's
I don't
good.
know. I know she's hanging out with, I think I saw her last with Ken Berry and
Okay.
Kim Martin.
Happy anniversary, Ken Berry. I saw that on Facebook today. He and Nisha have been married 8 years. Love them. Love them. What was I saying about them? See? Squirrel.
Right.
Oh, ask Nursini. She had a plateau for 18 months.
Yeah.
That's hard. That is really, really hard. Don't give up. You're
Nope.
not broken. Everything's good. If you need a coach, we are here to help you. We're here to help you through the holidays. You can lose weight during the holidays. We lost 20 pounds over from Thanksgiving to January in our journey. So it is completely possible. Don't fall prey to the people who say you can't lose weight during the holiday. The other thing is, yesterday in one of my sessions, we got to go here, but in one of my sessions yesterday, that's one of the things I cover is, okay, tell me about your Thanksgiving. Tell me what's happening. Tell me what you're going to miss. And I had one person yesterday say, oh, it's okay. I know there'll be turkey there. And I said, well, there's turkey. And there's probably going to be some vegetables. And I said, and I don't want our clients going to Thanksgiving eating turkey and veggies. I love turkey, love veggies, but I want them going and enjoying the amazing food that you can have. And so our assignment to our clients in all of our sessions this week, I want you to go make something. I want you to make something. And for that one particular client, it's cranberry sauce.
Mm-hmm. My mother-in-law makes the best stuffing.
Oh, she wanted that. And I just didn't even know how to tell her.
Oh, I'll have to ask her. But
I think it's in that book that we just gave away today.
Oh,
I think it is. I remember writing it and like pulling it out of your mother-in-law last year. I think it's in that book.
So hopefully you got that.
Hopefully you downloaded it, y'all. Sorry if you didn't. Yeah, it is. Really good. Is she coming to our Thanksgiving? I think she should.
It's our year with them, so
bring them here. Come on, Patty.
We'll have to talk about it.
We need you and the stuffing at the Haney reunion.
Yes.
All right, guys. We are here every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please let us know if you want us to cover a topic, and we will we'll cover anything.
Yeah, we make stuff happen.
We do. I don't know if there's a subject we have not covered, or we've said we would not cover.
Well, I mean,
I'm sure somebody could come up with something.
I'm sure they would.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, we love you. We will see you back here again next Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so make sure that you like and follow this. It really, really helps us if you share this to your family and friends. It helps. You will be notified if you click the little red bell. So we will see you next week. Have a great one.
Toodaloo.